Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Can the Prime Minister update the House on the efforts being undertaken following the tragedy of the MRH-90 Australian air helicopter crash off central Queensland last Friday?
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the Leader of the Opposition for his question and for the Leader of the Opposition, but I think every member of this chamber joining with us today on what has been a very difficult weekend for our nation. As the Deputy Prime Minister and the Chief of Defence Force made clear earlier today, our worst fears have been confirmed. I know that every member of this House, along with every Australian, is thinking of the families of Captain Daniel Lyon, Lieutenant Maxwell Nugent, Warrant Officer Class 2 Joseph Laycock and Corporal Alexander Knaggs. 4 men who made the brave and selfless choice to serve our country, to dedicate their lives to keeping us safe. They were soldiers and they were sons, husbands, brothers, fathers and friends. And today our deepest sympathies are with the people who loved them and the people that they loved. We will have, of course, a formal condolence motion at an appropriate time for them. We are also thinking of all those who served alongside these 4 men who remain missing. The members of the 6th Aviation Regiment based at Holsworthy Barracks in Sydney, and indeed all of their brothers and sisters in uniform, many of whom are continuing to assist in the search and recovery effort. I know the House will want to join me in acknowledging the vital support that Canada and the United States of America are providing to the efforts of the Australian Army, Navy and Air Force, as well as the civilian authorities led by the Queensland Police Service and the Australian Maritime Safety Authority. Our nation offers them all the strength that we can while their difficult work goes on. It is important for us to recognise that this will be a very hard time for many serving members and their families, as well as veterans. And I encourage anyone who feels in need of support to seek it. Families can call Defence Member and Family Support on 1800 624 608. Serving men and women, veterans and families can contact Open Arms on 1800 011 046. Mr Speaker, this terrible incident has provided a stark reminder that there are no safe or easy days for those who serve in our country's name, or indeed for their families, for they also serve. The Australians we mourn today were taking part in Exercise Talisman Sabre, bringing together 13 nations and more than 30,000 personnel. An unprecedented display of strategic cooperation and coordination driven by a common determination to preserve peace and security in the Indo-Pacific, but also the wider world. This was the noble ideal that these 4 Australians volunteered to serve, uphold and defend. Mr Speaker, all Australians owe a debt to the brave men and women who wear our uniform, citizens who risk their lives in order to protect our way of life. On behalf of our nation, we offer our sympathies and condolences to the families, friends and colleagues of those who Australia has lost. We mourn them, we will remember them, lest we forget.